right? Love you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Give it up for all the comedians who've been here so far. My name is Rashad, which means that no one really calls me that in the US. I remember when I came here as a student in 2013, and went to my guidance counselor, and she told me that the best she can do is Rish, and that's been my name ever since. I'm fine with that, but usually I kind of miss, like, there's like a neat meaning behind my name, you know? Like back home in India, it means excellent. And I found out that in America, it just means smiley face. Because that's what Starbucks puts on my coffee cups. I've been in the US for about 12 years now. It's going fine. It's going good. It took me 11 years to get a green card in the US, you know. And next, 2 years later, I'm going to be eligible to apply for citizenship, which is going to be awesome. But green card is just, you know, the only difference in a green card versus a citizenship is that I don't have the right to vote, which, oh no, I want to miss out on all those amazing options you guys have. Damn it. But I tell my friends that all the time. I'm like, you know, I'm not going to be able to vote. And they're like, that's bullshit, dude. You should be allowed to vote. I'm like, none of you guys ever fucking vote. Like, that's like being invited to a potluck and no one else brings a dish. And I'm the idiot showing up with mac and cheese that everybody else is going to judge. Nah, I'm not doing that. Doing stand-up is fun because, you know, we have a different kind of sense of humor. Like, I've had to learn a lot about like what people laugh at and, you know, what works over here. Because back home, like, a lot of stuff people say is like shock value. Like, you offend people, and that's usually fine, and it just would never fly here. You know what I mean? Like, people get offended. Like, I remember I went back home after 10 years, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, man, if you pass a dog on the street, he would try to rescue you. And he's like, hey, look at me. You look like George Lopez had a kid with Mr. T. I'm just like, damn, I'm just standing there, I'm like, what the fuck do I say to this guy? So I'm like, thanks, Dad. You don't have to wake me up in the middle of the night, you know, tell me all that stuff. My mom's kind of a bully too. My mom's kind of like better. She's kind of like a helicopter parent, you know. She wants to take over my life decisions and stuff. And I remember like being back home and her coming up to me and being like, you have a thin mustache on your face and you're not married yet? I'm like, Mom, I'm 13 years old. Like, what the fuck? Like, my sister has a thin mustache, she's not married yet. Why are you tripping? Yeah, as you can tell, it's hard for me to make friends. I say shit like that. I don't know. It's hard for me to make friends because it's been hard to catch up on all the American stuff, you know, like I can't share a culture with someone who's born here that much, you know. I don't know about football, you know. I tell people about the sport that we play back home, it's called cricket, and mostly they reply by saying that it kind of sounds gay, and it does kind of sound gay, I get it, you know. But I feel like American football is kind of gay, you know, if you really think about it. You got all these men dressed up in tights, chasing a ball, and there's a rule called holding, people look in me like a friend with Indian benefits. You know what I mean? They want me to fix their computer or their car. That's not gonna happen. You know? Like I just made this friend like a couple of weeks ago. I went to this video production class and like people making movies and stuff. So I'm like, oh, this is like kind of my kind of people. So I talked to this one guy. Like, he's pretty passionate about working on a movie. So like we get together and write a script, you know. And like I read the script that he's brought, and it's about one time when he killed someone in a car crash, which was one of his close friends. I'm like, look man, I know you want to be friends, and I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm not going to fix your car. You know, that's not really my thing. Fuck. I don't think I'm going back home anytime soon. Especially because of my wife. You know, she's white, and the last time we went back, man, all these fucking men just come up to her and just like start asking her questions. I'm like, what a fucking bunch of creeps, dude. And then I realized I've been one of them the whole fucking time because I married her. You know? Yeah, I think I'm gonna close on that. Thank you.
For Brian and all the other comics you've seen so far. Let's give it up for Brian especially for putting this whole show on. You know, has anyone moved recently? Or yeah, it sucks, right? We all agree, moving sucks. When you're in your 20s, it's easy. You just get a couple buddies and offer them pizza and beer. And if you're in your 30s or older, it's way worse. No one accepts that form of currency anymore. It's just the goodness of their heart, or you have to pay them actual money. But I moved, actually just moved recently back to GR, but about a year ago I had to move out of my place. I'm friends with a lot of comics on social media, as you might imagine. Too many, some might say. I might say. You know, not many of them answered the call. But you know who did? Brian B. Brian B showed up, along with a couple other people that helped me move. And a lot of you might be thinking, now Brian may not be my first choice to lift heavy objects. And you're not wrong, but he was there, and I appreciate it all the same. He's really good at putting boxes in a truck. Just in case any of you are looking for help this summer. Maybe Brian can pick up a few extra bucks. But yeah, no, moving is awful. We all can agree. And part of what makes it awful, I think, is stairs. Stairs are about the worst thing, and I've learned now that society is not broken down into, you know, categories of, you know, race or gender or sexuality. There's a hierarchy system, and it's how many floors of stairs do you have in your house, and how many do you have to go down to move out and in of your house. If it's more than 2, you're poor. If it's more than 2 and you don't have an elevator, I'm sorry to say you are a poor person. You know, there's a threshold, right? Because if you have the top, you know, the penthouse suite, you got an elevator. That's a difference. But lifting heavy totes into my new place, I was like, oh man, I really would like to be able to afford a ranch house. That would be real nice. Anyway, moving sucks because I also come from a long line of hoarders. That's my true lineage. My mom was a teacher and kept every letter, every card, every gift from a student. My dad never met an electronic device that he thought he couldn't revive from the dead. He has basically every laptop I've ever owned in a different room of the house as like a makeshift Alexa system. Like, yeah, I can hook up to Spotify, it's fine, it's the same thing. And so I inherited those traits, and as a result, I have every box to every phone I've ever owned for some reason. Along with concert tees that no longer fit me, and yet I still keep them. Anyway, the thing about moving that, it makes you want to Marie Kondo your life a little bit, just get rid of the things that don't spark joy anymore. And this especially when you help someone else move. You're like, man, why do I have all this crap? I would never get them. And I learned this when I had to help someone move out of their building not too long after I had to move. It was just nailed the point home even further. Now this friend had passed away, so they were not even going to enjoy moving into a new place. It was a dead friend. And even then I was like, man, I would have gotten rid of half of this stuff if I could have. I don't make him feel bad, but I'm just saying, if it starts going that way for me, I'm going to have a yard sale or two. I don't know, it is June, it's Pride Month as was mentioned. Give it up, it's exciting. I think we allies need to step our game up a little bit, homophobes, I'm sorry, you got 30 days you got to deal with it, suck it up a little bit. And as allies, I think especially right now, we gotta put our money where our mouth is. It's not enough just to post the pride flag or say I support or visibility. It's like that's not enough. You gotta start kissing some homophobes. You see someone in a MAGA hat, just go up and smooch them right on the lips. Give them a little love tap. Happy Pride. It works. It does work. I'm not comparing my plight to the plight of gay or lesbian or trans people, but when I was in high school, I humped a bully who was homophobic into a window and broke it. So that's sort of my Stonewall in a way. It's different. It wasn't a brick. It was just his elbow, but I think they got the point across all the same. See someone in a bathroom wearing a Trump hat, and you just whip it out. Like, I'm supposed to be here. You're the one who cares about this so much. Inspect it. I also like this month because it's my birthday month. I'm going to turn, in about 20 days, which means I'm a Gemini. I don't really care about Zodiac or any of that, but I'm open to it, which I'm told is a very Gemini perspective to hold. It's kind of perfect, because having a June birthday, you're right in the middle of the year. You got 6 months on either side to Christmas, and I never had to, deal with lack of presents. I'm not one of these people who has a December 20th birthday and resents Jesus. I resent Jesus for other reasons. I don't know, they're not present related. No, I do like Christmas. I know a lot of people have complicated feelings around the holidays. I do love Christmas. When I was a kid growing up, my favorite song was the 12 Days of Christmas. And notice how I didn't say my favorite Christmas carol. My favorite song, full stop, as a child, was the 12 Days of Christmas, which means it would be June or July, and 7-year-old Sean would be singing about Lords Leaping and 9 Ladies Dancing and all that. And that, I think, tells you all you really need to know about me. Number one, I will run a bit to the ground. Repetition's my love language. And also, I've had to unlearn some unhealthy habits. We get these things from society that we've got to unlearn. So I've realized now that, prospective romantic partners don't really appreciate it when you love bomb them, with birds especially. Like, even a trip to beat-ups is a lot for some people, let alone 7 geese, 7 swans, whatever it is. Price of eggs, how much is a whole ass swan? That's too expensive, anyway. And maids of milking, I don't think I feel comfortable even figuring out how you procure that without parts of the internet that seem unsafe. And of course, number 3, repetition is my love language. Thank you. Great. I think media literacy is important, especially right now. It's not just the Facebook memes that turn your aunt and uncle into MAGA enthusiasts, although it is that also, that is true. We don't like that. But also, MTV just erased 25 years of journalism from their website. I don't know if you heard about this, just gone, just off. All these streamers, they're pulling movies off, they just disappear out of nowhere. And that's scary, right? It's scary to think about. The worst part of it, I think, is that you realize that the children don't understand that Creed is supposed to suck. I don't know if you've seen it, but I go to a lot of karaoke. I work part-time as a DJ sometimes at karaoke, and these 21-year-olds are trying to make Scott Stapp happen again, and I'm not approving of it. I don't think that. I don't endorse it. I don't condone it. It's it's just a bad time, and it's not just that it's you can say, they have some good songs, but it's a Trojan horse, right? Because if you let in Creed, then it just opens up and Nickelback and Buck Cherry and Hinder and all those bands coming along with them. And we gotta cut it off somewhere. We can't let it happen again. We've lived through the early 2000s once, never again. Right? Never forget. There's a Creed cruise. Do you realize that's how far it's gone? There is, in the year of our Lord 2025, an honest to God Creed-themed cruise. Second year, actually. 2 years in a row this has happened, and no one stopped it. I'm trying to get the word out. This is my platform for this evening. Is kiss homophobes and stop Creed from coming back. I'm going to let you decide which one is more important, but also, if you want to go hang out on a boat with the worst dudes from my high school and get diarrhea while Lit plays My Own Worst Enemy at 3:30 in the afternoon, more power to you, but keep me out of it. I'm just mostly upset that they didn't have the decency or the foresight to name the cruise With Arms Wide Ocean, My Sacrifice. I have 30 more of these if you want. I can keep going. No, I wrote that joke, and I was upset because the band Filter wasn't on the first Creed cruise. And I was really upset, but then they came back this year, so they do have it. So now I can make the joke, hey man, nice yacht. All right, give it up for Brian B., everybody.
Can't believe I got called, guys. I'm so excited. Hold on, I have props. All right. Okay, guys, thanks for bearing with me here with my super complicated setup. My name is CJ Harris, and thank you. And I want to talk to you guys about something tonight. I want to talk to you guys about love languages. Yeah. Now, is anyone familiar with love languages? Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to tell me what their love language is? Repetition. Yeah, it's repetition. Everyone. Words of affirmation. Nice. Anybody else?
Quality time.
Whoa! All of you quality times or together, specifically? That makes sense. Okay. Those of you who aren't familiar with love languages, about 30 years ago, some dude wrote a book.
Quality time.
Quality time. Nice. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate it. Those were words of affirmation. some dude wrote a book. The concept of the book is that we all have ways that we want to give and receive love, right? The specific ways. And in the vastness of all human experience, there's 5, right? So the 5 love languages, and I'm just going to briefly talk you through them real quick here. The 5, we're going to call them the original love languages, are, you got it, words of affirmation. This is if you don't really want to help your partner with any housework, you can just tell her hair looks pretty. Nice job, dude. The second one, gifts, because some of us think that every day should be Christmas, and also adults should get birthday presents. The third one, quality time. I don't want to cook. Let's go get sushi. Spend some time together. Acts of service, because somebody has to do the dishes. We're adults. And finally, physical touch, also an act of service. Now, when I read this book, I was we'll call it a young adult. And at the time, I thought that if you wrote a book, you had to know things. And they wouldn't just let you write a book. I have since learned that they absolutely will let you write a book without knowing things. That this book is based on absolutely no scientific research. The dude who wrote it had no psychology background or training whatsoever, which means that I could also write a book and it could become a bestseller from my deep well of ignorance. And so, I present to you tonight the lesser known love languages. Are you ready? Yeah. First of the lesser known love languages, cheapness. Now, those of you here can probably see, but some of you over there may not be able to, that I bought myself a nice flipboard and then I taped pieces of paper to it. Because if this doesn't work out, she's going back. That is what I do with all my dresses as well. 3 or 4 times I wear them. They got the tag shoved somewhere. Now this is a little like giving gifts, except you're not getting gifts. Ever. Instead, you're going to get a secure financial future, in which you will also not get gifts. Second, we have, now this is the largest word I'll use all night, guys, so take your time. Condescension. You got it? I don't want to tell you how to pronounce that word. I just don't want you to be embarrassed when you pronounce it wrong in the future. Now, this can work for other things too. It just hasn't have to be grammar and spelling and pronunciation like I like to use it. It can be anything that you think your partners need some help with. Because when you love someone, you tell them they're loading the dishwasher wrong. Next we have guilt. Now I have a mother, and it was just Mother's Day. And I don't know if you all have the same experience, but when you call your mother right before Mother's Day and you say, "Mom, what do you want for Mother's Day?" "Oh, honey, I don't want anything. I just want to spend time." Thank you. Doing it higher, louder.
Guilt trip you.
Spend time with you. It's a little like a cross between giving gifts and spending time, except you don't know which one it is, and you're gonna get it wrong. Now, I'm a mother, so I get this. And thank you. I did push children out of Mother Day. And I understand this. And here's the thing about motherhood. I didn't realize there were going to be some things that I just loved about being a mother. Some of my favorite things. Children are such a miracle. But there was things that I didn't understand that I was just going to love. and that was going to bring my husband and me closer together. You know, just the miracle of judging other parents. Yeah, oh, that's a lot of sugar you're giving Junior there. We don't do screens in our house, but everybody parents differently. Oh, you bought your child to a comedy night? Next we have being the have the talk parent. Now, no one wants to tell the children what is going to happen to their bodies in a few short years, but somebody has to bite the bullet, and your love language may be, I'm going to do it. However, I would caution you, sometimes the moment chooses you, and so you should all be ready just in case. Personal story, I've been reading my kids the Bible. Such a good mom. Not like Bible stories, but the Bible, which can be problematic. For instance, in Genesis, I learned, there is a chapter that very clearly describes the pull-out method. What's that, Mommy? And so I had to explain it in a child-friendly manner. Well, kids, when a mommy and a daddy want to make a baby, the daddy brings a gift to the mommy, and the mommy uses that gift to make a baby. In this case, the daddy bought the gift and took it back. So the mommy could not make the baby. But just in case this has burned itself into your little brain and you remember it when you're, say 16, this is not a reliable method of birth control because the daddy did not wrap the gift. Always wrap your gifts. Which brings me to the most important love language of all the love languages, getting a vasectomy. If you really want to show your partner you care, you'll get a little snip snip. And finally tonight, because I'm getting light, finally tonight, I want to share with you guys the most important love language for this evening. Just do the right